Couple questions. First, we saying, do you think prisoners should have the ability to be free if they get good behavior? We're going to talk about that. And we also asking, do you know what 2 states in this country make it illegal for unmarried couples to live together? If you don't know, you gon' know. That's all coming up in the Pop Tops. You kicking it with KC, baby. Yeah, man, popular topics that may or may not be talked about in the news from yours truly, KC, MC, 10 plus years in radio broadcasting, and more. Let's get into it. Talking about this first topic. Coming from clickondetroit.com. The Second Look Sentencing Act would offer incarcerated people the opportunity to petition their sentencing judge for a reduction of their sentence after serving at least 10 years and if they are no longer a risk to the community. We talking about here in the state of Michigan. By the way, this is a local story. Now, currently incarcerated people in Michigan state prisons are required to serve their minimum sentence. And that's contrary to federal prisons where you can get released based on good behavior, on credits earned from that, without serving your minimum sentence, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, the Second Look Sentencing Act was announced Wednesday morning on Capitol steps by Senator Stephanie Chang, a Democrat from Detroit, Senator Paul, a Democrat in Warren, and Representative Jimmie Wilson, a Democrat from Ypsilanti, both with support from advocates, former justice-involved residents, and their families. So this will basically give the person that's incarcerated, their lawyer, or even a prosecutor the ability to make a petition for the sentencing judge to reduce their sentence. Any one of them could set that petition for that. Now, I don't know if there are specific crimes, but there are other criteria. Check this out. The age of the person at the time of the crime and the research on brain development. That's something that the judge will have to consider. The person's history while incarcerated, the person's role in the offense compared to other co-defendants, relevant evidence about the person's mental or physical health now or at the time of the offense, whether the person was a victim of human trafficking, and whether the person experienced domestic abuse. Those are several type of factors that the judge will have to consider on whether or not they will reduce that person's sentence. Now, right now, they're saying at least 30% of people incarcerated in the state of Michigan have served at least 10 years of their sentence. They're saying even 1 in 5, maybe even in 20% have served at least 15. That is wild. That was something that I definitely learned as of today. So they would have to consider, the elderly people and people who's been there since like under the age of 25. People who was locked up at 18 and 21 at young stuff. They would be the ones considered. If you in your 40s or something like that, even if you serve 20 years, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But the point is, do you think these prisoners should have the ability to get released? Just because you had good behavior on the inside of the prison, does that mean you will have good behavior on the outside of the prison? Now, don't get me wrong. I have some type of feelings for people who are in prison depending on their crime. I have someone in my family, my immediate family, who's in prison serving time right now for a crime that I don't necessarily like or agree with, and I feel for the victims' families, but at the same time, I miss my family member. And I would love to see them. I would love for them to be able to see their family again. But I don't know what her responsibility was or her role was in that crime. But overall, depending on the crime, I'm not mad at this. Non-violent crimes, okay, cool. Let them be considered. You tried to rob a bank, maybe, and you didn't kill anybody. Nobody was harmed, I should say. Okay, maybe we should consider it. He was just hungry. He tried. that was one of his last resorts. We'll do a mental health check on him. That's what I think. But another interesting fact when it comes to this story is they're saying legislators cited that the cost to keep an individual incarcerated in the state of Michigan on average costs $47,000 per year. This is per person on average. So almost $50,000, and this is because they're getting They're getting shelter. They're getting food. They're getting clothes. You know, they're not getting top quality stuff. They're not getting Red Roof Inn, 4 seasons. But they're getting a bed. And they're getting fed. They're still getting taken care of without having to put in any work and contribute to society. Well, maybe they're getting some type of prison, some prison labor in. But it still costs the state prisons is what they're saying. Almost $50,000 a year. So they're saying we need to start considering getting some of these people out. Here's my thing in that regards. If the prison, state prison, I don't care if it's a private or state prison, if you're not making enough money off these inmates in order to get some type of good return on your investment so that it's paying for them being in there, that's your fault first and foremost. Y'all should be having them cleaning up the streets, doing free construction, blah, blah, blah. Doing the labor that we need to do to clean up this city, clean up this state, that type of stuff. If y'all not doing that, then that's on y'all. Y'all missing an opportunity. At the same time, I'm looking at the prisoners and their situations. I feel like, yeah, I mean, if I feel like if I have shown remorse, if I've shown change behavior, and I can get monitored for X amount of years to prove that I have changed behavior, and I just want to see my family, I made a mistake, I feel bad. Maybe even talk to the victims' families to get their grace. If they forgive me too, that's what it should be. If the prisoners, victims, families forgive them also, then they should be released. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Yeah, we got the live chat right here. Don't play with me. Right here, set up. Yeah, live phone lines right now. Call into the show. We got another topic for you real quick. This is also actually in the state of Michigan. We're keeping it local today. We're talking about, this coming from DetroitNews.com. The state Senate on Wednesday approved a bill with 9 Republicans in opposition that will remove from Michigan law an unenforced provision that makes it a misdemeanor for an unmarried man and woman to live together. Now, this is crazy. In 2023, there's a law that makes it illegal for a man and woman who are unmarried. Yes, that is true. And there are still people, not Republican, some Republicans, but lawmakers who actually still agree with this. They feel like I'm on the right of the law that coincides with good morals and beliefs. Or I believe this keeps the family stability and encourages marriage. Anything else is doing the opposite. There's literally lawmakers that have said this. So that makes it a little bit scary. Michigan isn't the only state. It's Mississippi also, to nobody's surprise. The surprise is Michigan. But if you're from Michigan, you know Michigan is like the Alabama. I'm sorry, put some respect. Mississippi of the North. So Michigan, Mississippi, they kind of sound the same. Similar laws. Yeah. That's what we're dealing with right now. But they're actually working on whether or not they are going to approve it. 2 GOP lawmakers voted against the proposal. Repeal argued that keeping the law on the books would encourage marriage and strengthen families. The state Senate on Wednesday approved a bill with 9 Republicans in opposition that will remove from Michigan law an unenforced. We already talked about that. So that's pretty much the story. We're talking about, do you think you should be locked up if you're living with somebody who and y'all not married? Take a sip of my drink real quick. So this is what I'm gonna say. I had never lived with a woman until my current relationship. Right? Not like we had our own crib and we stayed together. Never did that before. Till currently. I've heard a lot of stories about men living with their girls and that type of stuff, getting used. I actually did. Our transition really wasn't that bad. Now, we started in a pandemic, so it's different. But the point is, I think it kind of fell into a situation because, like I said, we were during the pandemic. We ended up having a kid together. So then things just got different. But overall, do I think, for an example, we should be charged with a misdemeanor for living together? You know what? This is what I'm going to say. On some real stuff, maybe this will force my hand. Maybe this will force my hand to either marry her and make it legal, put a ring on it, or we separate and still, you know what I'm saying, be co-parents until we make it official. Or we just be co-parents forever and do our own thing. I'm kind of not mad at this, right? Now, everybody don't want to do marriage. And that's cool. I understand that. But this is my thing. If you bring a kid into this world, I feel like it's the kid's right to have both parents in a household together. Not just active, not just in the life, but together. And I feel like if you have to force that by making them married together, having the same last name so your kid don't wonder why we ain't all got the same last name, why me and daddy got the same last name but mommy don't, this will prevent that. This will prevent that. You see what I'm saying? Or if y'all not serious, separate and do your own thing until maybe y'all realize y'all need each other and then you get married. Or y'all realize y'all don't need each other and y'all separate. I'm not mad at this. You should be charged with a misdemeanor or let's just say a fine. You should be charged with a fine if you are living with somebody and you're not married. Give me the fine. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Let's switch, man. God dang, man. I'm about to talk about music that we listened to recently in the audio audit. Let me take a sip of my drink. NLE Chopper, Cottonwood 2. We listened to this on YouTube Music. No endorsement. Shout out to YouTube, though. This was 22 tracks. An hour, 10 minutes long. Now, if you know me, you know I like my projects to be between 30 and 45 minutes. Not too short, I don't take it serious. Not too long that I get bored. This was an hour, 10 minutes. This was about a movie. Now, what I will say is, I didn't necessarily get bored or drowned out after a certain point, because there was some straight tracks on here. But overall, I was like, this is just too long. You could have cut the fat. If you cut out some of them trash songs that I think, or songs that I didn't think were as good, and just left the really good songs, bro, you would have trimmed the fat to about 45 minutes, and this would have been a solid project. Wasn't bad. What I will say, out of 22 tracks, he does have one current single, at least, that we're playing on Power 96.5 WQHH in Lansing. Do It Again. That's what that sample with. Love don't live here anymore. I don't know who sang that, but that's what that sample right there. And I don't like that song. I'm just gonna say I don't really like that song, but it's not for me. So he got off. That's a single. But other songs on that project that stood out to me. Talk Different. That's the first track. Before I. That's the second track. Ain't Gonna Answer. That's a feature with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne went off. That's actually a good song right there. Strip club song. And another one, Automobile with Lola, I believe is her name. Yo, that was pretty dope too. Another like strip club dance party song right there. So, what, 4 songs, 5, including the single, out of 22. That's less than 20%, like 18% or so. I can't rock with that. That makes the project, in my eyes, not worth listening to the whole thing. But I will pick out those few songs because those are pretty decent. That's what I think. Let me know what you think about NLE Chopper as an artist, or Cottonwood 2 as a project, or any other projects you think we should do an audio audit on. Go off in the live chat or in the comments, or call into the show, 313-466-4386. Let's switch it up, man. I got more to talk about. We got to talk about what we saw on TV, or these series and movies and corn stream scenes I saw. Know what I mean? Let me take a drink. You see that? Beef. Saw this on Netflix. No endorsement. This was a series, 10 episodes. This was a Korean-led cast. No subtitles. I ain't gonna say no subtitles. You can make subtitles, but and there were moments of it they were speaking Korean and stuff. But ultimately, no like voiceovers. They were actually speaking English in this, so that made it nice. And not to say that if it's a voiceover is bad, but this was nice. With that being said, it was about a man and a woman who starts off in episode 1 getting into a road rage incident. A man backs up. Didn't see a woman goes forward, didn't see the man backing up. They almost clash. She hunks her horn. She throws up the middle finger. He gets mad, chase him. And it's a whole series based on this. At the end, what do you know? They end up together. But she was married, and it was a bunch of stuff. It says a lot. Because first and foremost, I feel like everybody, or at least the majority of people, significant portion of people have road rage that we express in our car at certain moments. With that being said, just imagine taking it to the extreme, or those cases where people do take it to the extreme, and just see what it could drag out to. And this also just talks about the personal issues a lot of people have, anger issues a lot of us, deeper rooted issues a lot of us have that stems from childhood. Why are you so angry? Maybe not even childhood. Maybe this was passed down from your grandfather, your great grandmother, and this is just in your blood. I found out my great grandfather was a very handsome man, but very angry. Now, I understand where some of my anger comes from. So a lot of this could be hereditary, but the point is, this breaks down. This makes you think about the psychology of people and a lot of things that are rooted from our childhood experiences that make us the people who we are. So yeah, overall, I would highly recommend watching this because I would love to know what you thought. 10 episodes, about 30, 40 minutes each, ultimately. Not bad. I would recommend this. Beef on Netflix. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Let's switch. Yeah, let's talk about sports, baby. From the stands of a sports fan, my man Positive Pan. Let me take a drink. Turn up. First and foremost, NBA. Let's get into it. Small news. Victor Wembanyama, he declares for the NBA draft officially. 19 years old, from overseas, from France, 7'2". This man can do everything. Dribble, pass, dunk, score, shoot, bang, penetrate, pause. He does it all. But now they're saying teams are tanking. They're not saying now, but they've been saying they believe teams are tanking to try to get this man on purpose. Now, as of right now, there's 3 teams with the best chance to get the number 1 draft pick. Best chance. It's not guaranteed. And that would be the Houston Rockets, the San Antonio Spurs, and my Detroit Pistons. Now, if you don't know, the Detroit Pistons just last year, if I'm not mistaken, or at least the year before that, Cade Cunningham was the number 1 draft pick. So we just recently had the number 1 draft pick. You give us another one with a man like this, we looking at a dangerous team potentially if we get the right coach. Now, we just fired Dwayne Casey, who we had for a couple years. And they say the Pistons are looking to get Ime Udoka, the former Boston Celtics coach. I would love this. Now, I do argue that coaches aren't as effective as a lot of people give them credit, but the name, the look, and I'll give it to him. He helped build that Boston Celtics team, even though they still on the road without him. He actually did his thing. Hold on, this is my mama. Hold on. Hello?
Hey, where you at?
Hello?
Where are you?
Mama, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Mama, I'm going to call you back. I'm live on the air. All right. I thought she was calling into the show talking about Victor Wembanyama. All right, but anyway, so we'll see, man. I'm not with the Pistons. I'm not with any team tanking at any point. I don't like that. But nonetheless, we'll see how the Pistons do, man. I hope they get him, because I would like to see what they do if they get Ime Udoka, have Cade Cunningham, and him. If we can't do nothing with that, bro, we definitely just need to scratch everybody. But that's just my thoughts. Trae Young from the Atlanta Hawks. This was interesting. This was coming from the Ticket and the Truth podcast with Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. They said Trae Young was voted the most overrated player in the NBA this season. Guess where this voting thing came from? Guess where this vote came from? Fellow NBA players, actual NBA players in the league right now voted Trae Young over. Now this is what I gotta say. Now, yeah, the Hawks are down right now to the Celtics 2-0 in the playoffs in the first round. Yes, this is true. Trae Young ain't been showing up. But what I will say is, that sounds like a lot of hate. I agree with what they said. It sounds like a lot of hate, bro. That sounds like a lot of hate. Now, he is still young, so to expect a lot out of him, yeah, I get it. But in certain moments where Atlanta was on the spotlight, they was on this big stage, he was being extra. Now, I ain't gonna say being extra. He was being confident. He was showing, you know what I'm saying? He was doing his little cold thing. And I get it. A lot of people was hating, you know, bumping shoulders with him, stuff like that. Is he arrogant? It's the difference between arrogance and confidence. If you confident, I don't think nobody gonna have a problem with you. Arrogant, a lot of people might have a problem with that. And fellow NBA players might see how you are off the court more. So maybe that has something to do with it. I have no idea if it's true, but I had to bring that up because that was extremely interesting. Moving on to the playoffs in the NBA. Can we talk about it real quick? First and foremost, we're talking about the Eastern Conference. We still in round 1 of the playoffs right now, right? Philadelphia 76ers, number 3 in the East, against the number 6 Brooklyn Nets. They're currently the only team 3-0 in the playoffs. 3-0 lead. The first team that's looking to a sweep. So my question is going to be, who do you think is going to sweep? I'm going to ask that again. Keep it moving. Number 7 Atlanta Hawks with Trae Young. They're down 0-2 against the Boston Celtics, who's number 2. Boston got a 2-0 lead on them. I think Boston is going to get that job done like they should, getting out the first round. Number 5, New York Knicks against the number 4 seed, Cleveland Cavaliers. That series is tied 1-1. That's going to be an interesting one. That should go game 7. Who I think should come out of that? I really don't care. I don't like the New York Knicks owner, and I have no relations to them. Have no idea, but I don't like it. I don't like the owner. Cleveland Cavaliers, I respect them. And I even might want them to win. But the point is, LeBron is from there. He used to play there. So he got a little footprint there. I don't even want him to celebrate. I don't even want him to celebrate if Cleveland wins. So no, I don't want Cleveland to win. That's a LeBron hater of me. And then you got number 1 Milwaukee Bucks, who currently playing without Giannis Antetokounmpo with a back injury, going against number 8 Miami Heat, excuse me. That series is tied right now 1-1. So, you know, that can go any way. But if Giannis is making his way back into the series, it's going to go Milwaukee. I mean, theoretically, right? Theoretically. Without Giannis, I could see it being a toss-up. I could see it being even like this and going 7, just like Miami is putting Milwaukee on. So, you know, we'll see how that ends up right now. It's interesting. It can go anyway. I want Milwaukee to go because I'm a Giannis fan, though. Going to the West in round 1, we got number 3 Sacramento Kings against number 6 Golden State Warriors. Sacramento up 2-1 right now in that series. That got very, very interesting. Draymond got suspended game 3 after stepping on Sabonis' ribs, allegedly. I don't think he stepped on his ribs intentionally. I think, like we all saw, he pulled his leg down. Draymond kind of came down awkward, didn't know where to shift it. How else you going to shift your weight? You see what I'm saying? But he instantly tried to jump off of him. If you see the awkward jump he did afterwards, he instantly tried to jump off of him. That looks crazy, just jumping on a man's ribs. So he already has a bad name attached to him. So, of course, people are going to attack him. Of course. But anyway, I don't think it was intentional. But as much as I love Golden State, not a fan, but as much as I support and I like Golden State, that's what I'll say. I like Golden State. I think I want Sacramento to get that dub. I think I want the defending champs to lose in the first round to the Sacramento Kings, who haven't been in the playoffs in 16 years. Yes, that's me saying that. Number 2, Memphis Grizzlies. Still wondering why the Memphis Tennessee Grizzlies are in the Western Conference. They're going against the number 7 LA Lakers. That series is tied right now. Very interesting because the Lakers had like a less than 1% or 1% chance of even making the playoffs. Now they're in the playoffs, and they're tying with the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, the Memphis Grizzlies don't have Ja Morant, who's out with a hand injury. That's part of the game, folks. During the playoffs or during the season, players are going to have injuries. It's part of nature. If we have a playoffs where no players are injured, let's call that the perfect playoff. Other than that, ain't no perfect playoff. You got to account for that. So right now, we're going to be like, yeah, it coulda, shoulda, woulda. But Ja Morant is out with a hand injury. Memphis still playing good. They actually almost play better. I think statistically they do play better without Ja Morant. Memphis Grizzlies tied with the Lakers. Now, without Ja Morant, a star player, can they get it done? They obviously have to spread the ball more when they have him on the court, which is probably why their record is about the same, if not better, without him. But ultimately, we talking about the Lakers. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, D'Angelo Russell, Dennis Schroeder. We talking about a bunch of superstars, right? A bunch of, not all superstars, but we talking about some great players. So on paper, you would think the Lakers would get past this. But the Memphis Grizzlies, if they can get Ja back in enough time in this series, it could be very serious. I actually want Memphis to get it, obviously. The only I gotta say this, and I hate to say this. God forgive me. Oh, I ain't got no more to drink. God forgive me. The only reason I would want the Lakers to get past this and maybe go to the finals. I ain't gonna say win. Never win. But go to the finals. Is because they literally had a 0% chance damn near to even go to the playoffs. But if they get to the finals, if you just betted on them to make it to the finals, bro, like you came up. You feel me? So that's I'm kind of with this underdog stuff though. I love that. That's the only thing I can respect though. I gotta respect it, bro. I gotta respect it. Other than that, I want Memphis to win. Then you got the Clippers against the Phoenix Suns. Number 5 Clippers, number 4 Phoenix Suns. Suns up 2-1, which is what you would expect with Kevin Durant being on the Suns with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. But Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, my guy Russell Westbrook, couple other players. Paul George injured right now. Another injury. Playoff Paul with the injury. So check this out. I definitely want the Clippers to win this series. I am not a Kevin Durant fan. He lost me as a fan since he went to Golden State. Lost my respect. And lost definitely since he left Brooklyn. Oh yeah, you lost my respect completely. But I am a Russell Westbrook supporter. I got to get a Russell Westbrook jersey for sure. OKC style, real talk. But Russ, I want him to get his ring. At least experience the finals. Again, I will say, because they went in 2012. Experience the finals again. But, yeah, they down 2-1. I don't know how it's looking. They got to get Paul George back. I don't know how it's going to look on the floor with all three of them. But they got to get Paul George back. They need all hands on deck if they're going to go against Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton. I mean, seriously, though. So, 2-1 with the Suns. I don't know. Then you got the number 1 Denver Nuggets against the number 8 Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, this is what I will say. You got the Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, whatever. Second time MVP, looking for 3 in a row or something like that. Check this out. He puts in work. We gotta respect the game. He puts in work. But I like Anthony Edwards. I respect Karl Anthony Towns. And Rudy Gobert, he started the DVOC backwards in the NBA and in the United States. So he's a weirdo to me. With that being said, I want Minnesota to win because I like Anthony Edwards, bro. I like Anthony Edwards. But Denver Nuggets, man, they got Jamal Murray too. Yeah. They putting in that work, man. They up 2. No. I think I put that down wrong. I'm doing something wrong. Let me look. See, now I gotta look. All right, so let me see who up in that series. I think Denver is up 2-0, but let me confirm that. So now we got to check live. We going to NBA.com. We not Googling. We not doing no Wikipedia. So we going to NBA.com. I got to see who's up in that Denver Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves series right now. So it's pulling up right now. NBA.com. According to them, Denver leads 2-0. Denver leads 2-0. Yeah, so Denver. Let me put that down right now. All right, there we go. So, yeah, I don't know. It's looking real bad for the Timberwolves, but, I mean, you might be able to pull something off. I'm with Anthony Edwards, but you got to turn it up, and Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, y'all going to have to do something. Because with y'all together, I don't see how it's not working out, but that's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Who you got coming out the East? Who you got coming out the West? Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show. 313-466-4386. Switching it up real quick. We got to talk about the NFL. Because this is something that I talked about a long time ago when they legalized sports betting. I talked about this. 5 NFL players have been suspended for violating the league's gambling policy. This announced from NFL. 4 of them were Detroit Lions players. Oh my God, bro. Jamison Williams and Stanley Berryhill were suspended for 6 games each, while Quintez Cephas and CJ Moore were suspended indefinitely. Come on, bro. What are you doing? I don't exactly know what their stats were. I don't care what your stats were. We don't need anybody gone, bro. Especially for illegally gambling. Now, I get it. A lot of people say the Lions suck. They're not getting top dollars, not a top market. Whatever. The players got to do what they got to do to win. Do endorsements, bro. There's small brands that would love to pay you. Illegally gambling? Come on. I knew this would happen. I'm shocked, but not surprised. I'm shocked that it's Lions players. That's what really burns me, bro. That's what really burns me. You also got, who is this, Shaka Tony of the Washington Commanders, also banned indefinitely. I'm not surprised from him at all. Washington Commanders definitely suck. Lions were better than them. But the point is, this sports betting thing is very, very dangerous. It's blurring a lot of lines. You got a lot of people who can go through other people. It's so easy to gamble nowadays. Even kids can gamble with their phones. Can we stop playing like it's not accessible? How are you vetting people and seeing if they're 21 in certain states? Come on, man. So this bothers me. This is the first case of minis. This is just players who were caught while they were actively playing. We're not talking about referees who could possibly get caught, and who cares? Who knows who will get caught 20 years from now? I'm not surprised. Let it be known I was first said here on Kick It with KCMC, man. They're also saying that Moore, Cephas, and Tony were suspended for betting on NFL games during the 2022 season. Meanwhile, Williams and Berryhill's bans reportedly stem from gambling on college sports from the team facility. Either way it go, this is nasty. This is bad. Active professional players, active college players betting. Get your endorsement deals, your NILs, whatever else you need, your sponsorships, and get up out of there. I feel like this just shows you have a gambling addiction. At this point, you have an addiction because you can get money so many ways. For you to have to get it through gambling, you're doing too much, bro. You're doing too much. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show, 313-466-4386. I got to hit the road to go to Chicago, man, because I'm watching this fight tomorrow. Gervonta, a.k.a. Tank Davis, going against King, a.k.a. Ryan Garcia, tomorrow, Saturday, April 22nd. Showtime pay-per-view. Let's talk about it. They've done their interviews. They made their press runs. They did their weigh-ins. They did all the talking. Now it's all about the action come tomorrow night. Now listen. This is what I want to say. I don't think I've ever sat, paid for, and watched a Gervonta Davis, a.k.a. Tank fight, or a Ryan Garcia, a.k.a. King fight. Never in my life. This will be the first time. But what I will say with that being said is, I'm expecting a very, very good fight. I know nothing of these two other than the interviews and the highlights that I've seen on YouTube. They both done an interview on All the Smoke, Showtime Basketball. And one of them did it, I think Ryan Garcia did it with Mike Tyson. This is what I will say. Gervonta Tank Davis has a personality and an attitude that makes me believe him more. Ryan Garcia, and I'm not being biased because I'm black. I'm trying to be as objective as possible. When I look into Ryan Garcia's eyes and I look at his mannerisms, his body language, maybe this is just me. He looks like a child. He looks timid. He looks scared. He looks unsure. Not scared, unsure, uncertain. He looks like he's doing this fight because his people told him, this is a big fight. This will blow up your name, bring you to the next pedestal, and get you a very big bag. Now, a lot of people were talking about the fact that they went on live together, Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, and allegedly bet the whole purse. Winner takes all. I don't think anybody really believes this. If you believe this, you're a fool. Nobody believes it. It's not. They probably legally can't do this. They have people to pay. But what I will say is it makes the fight interesting. And I'm pretty sure Ryan Garcia is down because he's getting the bag. Now, I don't think Tank is going to drag this dude. It's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to stretch. I'm hoping to see a knockdown. Or maybe the ref is just going to call it off and feel like somebody got beat too. I don't know. That's just what I think. I'm giving it 6 rounds. Maybe 8. Maybe. But I'm giving it 6 rounds. And I feel like that's a stretch. But let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call them to the show. 313-466-4386. Man, we about to get up out of here. But before we do that, check this out. So I was somewhere, and I'm not going to say where. I'm not going to say who. I'm going to try to be as just blank as possible. So I was somewhere, and then this older black lady approached me. And she says, hey, I've come across the situation. I'm homeless, living in my car, blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to see if you had a couple dollars to help me out. I hate being put in this position, but all right. I looked at her and I said, all right, I don't really carry cash anymore. Nobody does that. She looked like she was ready to tell me her cash out. But before she did that, I reached in my cup holder, and grabbed her some coins, put it in her hand. But before she walked off, I asked her a bunch of questions about her life and why is she in a predicament she's in. As the conversation went on, I noticed in her body language that she started to get annoyed that I was asking her questions. So I took down her phone number, called her to make sure it was her phone number, and I'm wondering, why are you in this situation? So overall, I end up having her just get on my face because she had the body language and attitude like, I got too much to do. I already got your money. I don't need to be talking to you. I'm like, you broke old black bitch. What you thought this was? I don't owe you nothing. And that kind of bothered me. I already very hesitant on how I give people who ask and beg for money talking about they homeless. I'm hesitant about that. I learned that at a very early age. But now it's like, come on, bro. I'll give you this handful of change, which is maybe $3-4 in change, with quarters and stuff. But I emptied my cup holder. I could have used that change. I'm sorry. I'm just going off on a tangent, man. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show, 313-466-4386. But don't call because that was just me talking and venting. Overall, I feel like she was a female dog. Yeah, in heat, whatever. Hey, but listen, before we get up out of here, kick it with KCMC on all social media, man. I gotta hit this road and get to Chicago, man. KIW KCMC. That's Kick It with KCMC. Just the abbreviations on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. And go show some love to my sponsors, man. Team Elite. They on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also at Team Elite 313. That's TEAMELITE 313. And check out their premium urban-based athleisure wear. Excuse me, I'm tongue-tied. That's t-shirts, sweatshirts, sweatpants, hoodies, tech fleece, jogger sets, varsity sets, and more. It's all on the website, teamelite313.com. Ask your mom, baby. Appreciate you for kicking with KCMC, man, getting this far in the video. If you did, hit the like button for me. I appreciate that. Also, make sure you subscribe, hit the alert button so you know when we going live, because I might pop up and pull up on you at any time, baby. Also, if you got a couple dollars, donate to the show so we can grow, man. We appreciate that, man. I need another light. My light just went out. So help us, man, so we can elevate, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I got to get up out of here. We'll see you later, man.